All right, so let's start the Earthborn Rangers campaign. I'm going to open up the box so everybody can see exactly how this game comes. So we have, this is an impromptu unboxing, so we'll have the Lure of the Valley. This is all of the various text and things you'll discover. We do have the overarching campaign tracker on the back. I'm probably going to use a digital one as opposed to that. You do have your rule book here, which I have to say, as someone that tried to learn the game from the original rule book, this one I believe is the second edition, and it at least appears to be way more intuitive. So you can see we've got all the cards with their dividers pre-set out. I'm going to lay out the map here for everybody to see. So this is kind of the valley map. And I'm going to try to pull this a little bit closer to the camera just so we can see. And I believe over here we do have Lone Tree Station, which is where we're going to start. So I'm going to find a spot for this map kind of off to the side, off camera a little bit. Punch board. So I'm going to go ahead and punch all of these out just to make sure we have. Okay, I'm gonna throw all this stuff into one of the bins. These are thicker, heftier punch board pieces. They don't just instantly pop out. They've kind of got a little bit of a stick to them. This is going to be kind of a bit of a teach. So I'm going to punch all of these out, which are and then punch these out. These are coming out a lot easier. All right. Now, only thing left is the Ranger tokens, which is going to signify our kind of our presence, where we're at, and then our corresponding resources. Now I've already, I'm going to show this on the camera. I've already got my Ranger deck. So this is my Ranger role, which is Voice of the Elders. It allows me to spend 1 energy to add 1 token to an aid card. That'll actually come and make a lot more sense here in a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and start to place some of this stuff out. This is actually my card that has all of my stats on it. So I am starting with 2 awareness, 2 spirit, 3 fitness, and 1 focus. This is my Ranger deck. I am doing a pre-made deck, so I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and make sure that they are all completely mixed up. And there are 2 of each card. I am actually playing a Conciliator Shepherd, which is nice. And then I've got a traveler card mixed in. So in this game, you'll be picking, obviously when you build a character, you pick a personality, and you will then pick various things to build your deck. Let me go ahead and finish shuffling. Okay, stick this right here. So I'm going to put my spirit tokens here on top. I get 2. Do my awareness tokens here. My fitness tokens here. And we'll do a focus here. Blue. Okay, we're gonna put it right there. And I'm gonna grab said rule book, and we're gonna begin the setup. And first off, I'm gonna kind of go over the overarching way the game is played. So each game session of Earthborn Rangers is called a day, and the entire day. And the entire story or campaign is told over many days. As you play, you'll track the passage of time on a record log sheet, along with notable events, mission objectives, and rewards of your journey. During a day, you'll imagine yourself as walking through a verdant forest teeming with life, along placid lakes, glittering with sunlight, and up mountainsides where breathtaking vistas await. The campaign guide will provide you with descriptions of these locations and events in the story to help spur your imagination. So each game is broken up into rounds in which you and your fellow Rangers will take turns playing cards from your hand and interacting with cards on the table that represent the flora, fauna, and natural features, ancient ruins, fellow travelers, and all other stranger things you'll encounter on your journey. Each round represents an hour or 2 of the day, and how you spend that time is up to you. You may spend the round preparing for the journey by meditating or equipping gear and listening to a bird song for clues as to the whereabouts of a predator, or you may spend the round hiking through the wilderness, doing your best to outpace the wolfhounds dodging your steps, encouraging you with unkindly growls to leave their hunting ground. You may also spend a round exploring a treetop village, speaking with the locals, lending aid where you can. You'll do all of this by interacting with the cards on the table and performing tests. So these are my aspects. This is going to be my Ranger card, which is Voice of the Elders. So that is my role. And then let's look at the setup. So first we're going to set up the player areas. So I place your aspect card, which is this guy here. Your role card. You want your common test and reference sheet. So let me grab that. So this is, as you can see, a little card that shows your common tests. Also, you have like a reference card for the round structure. in how this is played. I'm going to set these off over here to the side as well. So it says place a number of energy tokens equal to their corresponding aspect values, which we've already done. So it says shuffle your ranger deck and place it into your player area. I'm going to continue to shuffle. Draw a starting hand. So we're going to draw 6 cards from your ranger deck. If you don't like your starting hand, you can set aside a number of cards from your hand and draw an equivalent number of new cards. Shuffle the set aside, so you do get a mulligan. So let's grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, leaving space here for my discard pile, for my exhaust pile. So so I've got 2 of the same. I think what I'm going to do is continue to shuffle just to, because these were all paired together. So let me just kind of completely shuffle. I won't count that as a mulligan. But now let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just turn these all around to be on the same side. Okay, let's go here. All right. I think I like this, all right? So I'm going to show everyone my starting hand. I've got Oru, the sheepdog. So he is a companion and a being. He's pretty nice. You can exhaust him, and you can add some progress to a feature. That's kind of how you interact with features in the game. Got Insightful. I've got Tracked. I've got Calming Presence. And then I've got Pocodo the ferret. He's also another companion. So that's going to be kind of my starting hand. It says elect a lead ranger. That's going to be me. And he makes decisions for the group if a consensus cannot be reached. I'm playing solo, so that's just going to be me. It says shuffle the challenge deck and place it above the surroundings. So let me grab the challenge deck. I'm going to do it this way as well. Make sure everything is turned up right. Okay, we're going to place the challenge deck in the surroundings, so kind of up here at the top. Let's make sure that's in view. Pull it down a little bit. Okay, it says set up the starting location. So place your current location in the surroundings. If continuing the campaign, use the current location. So we're going to set up the current location, which let's see, we are actually going to be starting, I believe, in Lone Tree Station. So it says dive, experience groups. So we're going to dive entry 1 on page 4 of the campaign guide. So let's make sure we go to entry 4. Experience groups may dive right in by creating ranger decks, which I've already created. Go to entry 1 on page 4 of the campaign guide. There is a tutorial. I've played it before, so we're going to just hop right in because I already have a deck built. The tutorial kind of walks you through how to build the deck and teaches you the game, but we're just going to kind of teach as we play. So let's go to entry 1 on page 4. To start your campaign, perform the first 4 steps and set up a page 10 of the rulebook, then return here for the remainder of the setup. Cresting the gentle grassy hill, you see the unmistakable silhouette of Lone Tree Station rise out of the highland plains before you. Lone Tree Station is aptly named. The single mass of giga redwood towers above the hills and swaying grass that surround it. You can just make out the eaves and balconies among the gnarled bark, doors tucked into the winding roots, and hanging gardens suspended from branches. As you draw closer, a woman in a freshly pressed cloak steps out from the main entrance and waves. Calypso, your mentor from the past 9 months, strides towards you with a man who looks just about your age at her heels. "Hello," she calls out. "You just made it. Look at you." She clasps your hand, her smile warm and her grip firm. "I'm glad to finally have you here," she says. She turns. "This is Cal Ivor. I trained Cal last year, right before I started training you." Cal Ivor gives you a nod in greeting. "A pleasure," he says. "Put Lone Tree Station into play in the surroundings." So let me grab Lone Tree Station. And I'm going to show the little picture here. So this is Lone Tree Station. Every station will have one of those corresponding tests on it. And this test is an awareness test. So any awareness I use on this allows me to search beneath the comforting shade of the giga redwood to scout path cards equal to your effort. So if I spend 3 awareness, I can scout 3 path cards. And we'll get into what those are here in a bit. But path cards are how you interact with the world. And this is just a really cool little spot. Also, I believe you'll see on here. On the back, it's got a little 2 on there. It also talks about the arrival setup. So, this is just a little different because it's the very beginning. So we're not going to do anything here other than just put this out. But also, I do want to make sure we read. There is a little book with the little 2 number. If we go to the 2 in the book, I'm still on the 1s here. But let me go to 2. And it's got a little book thing. It says, visible for miles around, Lone Tree is a single enormous giga redwood rising out of the thick grass of the high prairie. From far away, the tree is all you can see, but as you get closer, you can see the rest of the station. The large box garden plots hanging from the branches, the airstrip Swift moored to its dock in the tree's crown, the doors and windows carved into the trunk and peeking out from among the roots. Lone Tree Station has been a base of operations for the Rangers ever since people came to the valley, and ever since you became a Ranger, it's been your home. I just like a lot of the subtext on these games. So we're going to put this right here in the center. That is the location that we are currently interacting with. Okay, back to the book. Calypso heads back to the station with you and Cal in tow. She speaks back over her shoulder. Please make yourselves at home. Explore the hanging gardens. Find spirit speaker Nal and Cordo and strike up a conversation. Get to know the place. After you spend some time here at the station, you should head over to White Sky, she says, In fact, High Pimp Pot has some juniper biscuits baking right now. His food is legendary around these parts. Once those biscuits are ready and you've had a chance to poke around, take a parcel over to White Sky and offer them to the people you meet. It's been at least a year since our neighbors have enjoyed the company of rangers bearing treats. She turns to Cal. What do you think, Cal? Good way to get started? Cal grins at you in a way that you can't quite describe as sneer. Handing out baked goods? I think that's perfectly suited to their abilities, he says. Now we have a choice. Tell Kai what he can do with the condescending attitude, or ignore him. I think I'm just going to ignore him because he ain't worth our time. So we're choosing ignore him. And then it says Calypsa shakes her head and laughs. Oh, Cal, you're not long past delivering biscuits yourself. It's a tradition after all. Write impressed Calypsa on the campaign tracker. All right, let me get that tracker up. Should have already had this up, I guess. Reminder, I am going to be tracking this digitally. Put that in the notes. Impressed Calypso. All right. So let's see. Continue reading. Gain the biscuit delivery mission. Add it to the mission section of the campaign tracker and put its card into play in the surroundings. So that is the biscuit delivery mission. Add that to my missions. Let me add a mission All right, so continue the time-honored tradition. So this is your little mission card. I'm gonna move that. Calypso has tasked you with delivering biscuits to the people of White Skies, your first mission. Find High Pimp Pot at the Lone Tree Station. He'll give you biscuits and send you on your way. During this mission, use text 91 instead of the normal entries for High Pimp Pot. Cordo now in Quizzy Voss. So the goal is to travel away from Lone Tree Station while High Pimp Pot is in play. So that is going to be our goal while we're here. I'm going to put the biscuit delivery mission over here. And actually, this is going to tell us now, put the campaign tracker, check the campaign tracker for the weather for the current day, day 1, and put the current weather card in play. So the current weather card is a perfect day. So I'm going to grab that here. That is going to be this guy here. And it says weather, perfect day. So there's 3 clouds on it. So basically discard 1 cloud from this card. When you refresh, if there's no clouds, flip the card. So the refresh phase is kind of at the end of the round. So ultimately, we need to enjoy this perfect day while it lasts. For each test that we are doing on a location, specifically like one of these guys, like a feature, you add an additional progress to it. So yeah, if it's like a progress of 1, you would add an additional 1 to that. So I'm going to stick that right here, over here. That's a perfect day. Okay. Let's go back to reading. Calypso turns to you. Cal and I are heading into the valley. We'll be on shadow patrol. That is, we'll never be too far away from you for the next few weeks. You shouldn't need our help, of course, Cal says. I can tell by looking at you that you're more than capable. Farewell for now, Calypso says, and starts down the eastern path away from Lone Tree Station. Spirits guide you. Follow your instincts. She and Cal walk steadily out of sight. Explore Lone Tree Station to find High Pimpot and retrieve the juniper biscuits and learn what to do next. Create the path deck by shuffling together the woods and the Lone Tree card set. 17 cards in total. So let's find that. So I want to show you guys real quick where we're at. So this is actually the valley map. This is Lone Tree Station. The prologue, like where you're doing the tutorial, starts off in Ancestor Groves. So if you're traveling along Ancestor Groves to Lone Tree Station, this is the little old, actually, you're probably traveling along this here to Lone Tree Station. But basically, this is the denotion of the woods path. So we are going to take the path deck for the woods. So let's just grab the woods path deck. And then we're going to get the path cards from the pivotal locations. So I want So basically you got to think of it this way. So as you're at the start of the game, so each round in this game, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be taking place over the course of rounds. And each round is going to consist of 4 phases. And I'm going to put the little reference card up here for the round structure. So you'll have the path card phase where each ranger draws 1 path card. Then rangers will take turns playing cards from their hand, performing tests on the different cards and things they interact with. And then ultimately they can decide to rest once they have no more resources to spend. And then they can optionally, on the third thing is travel. And then lastly, they can refresh all cards. Each ranger gains all energy and draws ranger cards. A ranger card. So basically what we're going to do is, you imagine we're traveling along this wooded path on our way to Lone Tree Station, and these are the things that we may interact with on Lone Tree Station. I'm not going to keep them up for too long because I don't want to spoil it for anybody watching. So I'm going to basically off the camera a little bit. I'm going to shuffle everything together to form our path deck. So imagine you're traveling along the wooded path to Lone Tree Station, and along that path you're going to interact with and come across various creatures that might be in the woods. Also various features that could also be in the woods, along with the various things you might interact with and people you might interact with at Lone Tree Station. So I am going to place the path deck over here next to my biscuit delivery. Let's go back to the campaign book here. It says create the path deck by shuffling together the woods in Lone Tree Station. Place it above the surroundings. Then Complete the initial setup by performing the setup steps on the back of Lone Tree Station card and placing 3 cloud tokens on the perfect day weather card. That concludes the setup. Okay. So I am actually, so it's telling me to put this up here. And I want to make sure I've got everything correct. Perfect. So this is my like area where it's like basically these are my surroundings. These are the things that are like kind of off in the distance. Obviously I have a mission here. I've got this actual feature that I'm trying to get to, this location. And then this is my path deck up here. Now it tells me to finish the arrival setup on the back. So it says search the path deck for the next predator and discard it. And then the lead ranger will draw 1 path card. So let me search for this. I'm going to search for the next predator. That's a prey. That's a prey. Feature, prey. Prey. Predator. Okay, so it's going to have me discard the predator. And then it says, yeah, draw 1 card, put it into play. So this will be the first card that I interact with, and I will tell you how this works. So this is the card here. So I put it into play. It says it's a Sitka buck. It is a prey, not a predator, so that wasn't one I was having to discard. And it says if there's another, it says it's got a down arrow. So that down arrow means it's going to be placed in front of me within reach. That means it's right within reach. If it had an up arrow, it would have been placed up here, which is along the way. So you have 3 areas. I'll have my personal area with all my items and things and cards that I equip. I'll have my area within reach. I'll have the area along the way. And then lastly, the location I'm trying to interact with. So this is the thing that's right in front of me. If it was an up area, it would have been here along the way. So there would be nothing in reach. This would be along the way, still in between me and Lone Tree Station. So I'm going to put it within reach because it's got a down arrow. And then that completes, I believe, the setup. Yeah, since I'm the lead ranger, I'm the one that. The only thing I need to do is I need to put 3 cloud tokens on there. Put those right here. Okay. Now we're, I believe, we're going to be ready to start. Just double check here. That concludes the setup. Now I'll go explore Lone Tree Station and find High Pin Pot. So that's what we're looking for. So in this game, like I said, there's a few things to note. Most of the things you're going to be doing are like interacting with the cards, performing tests, which are going to be available. Like this is an awareness test on this here. And the way you clear cards are, you have a couple of different ways of clearing them. You can clear them kind of by brute force. So, you know, that's through any card you may have that allows you to do some type of damage. So you definitely have some brute force. Let me just shift this up a little bit, up a little bit, up a little bit, up a little bit, create a little bit more space here. Make sure that's still all on stream. Perfect. And then most of the ways that I think I'm going to play this character to try to get rid of it is doing a connect test, which is this spirit plus any cards with a heart on it that I discard. And it allows me to add presence equal to my effort. And so, like, for example, this Sitka buck would require 5 connect for me to be able to clear it that way, or 3 damage if I'm able to do damage to it. So that's basically how that works. Currently, I have the ability to do 2 connect, but I do have a lot of cards in my hand. So, move to a being to add 2 progress to it. So, first off, before I start my ranger turn, I'm going to draw one of these cards. Let's see what we got on the path deck. So this is a structure. It's a hanging garden structure. This is something from Lone Tree Station. I don't want to know if I can get close here so you can see the artwork. Just love the artwork on this game. And then you'll also see on this card, let me bring it back into focus. It's hanging gardens, so there is a part of the book we're going to go to here in a second. This denotes how much presence it has in the course of the field. A lot of your predators and stuff like that may have a higher presence because they're just more threatening. It also has a test on here, which is an awareness test, plus that symbol there. It's an eat, so you can eat the abundant fruits to add 1 damage to this feature, and then you can soothe 3 fatigue and heal 1 injury. So it's a way of kind of healing yourself. 4 damage and it goes away. 4 connect, it also goes away. You can see it's a downward arrow again. So that is also within reach, not along the way. And let's read the 43 in the book and see what we have on this. You got to know Cordo Haverson well enough during your... 43. Hanging Gardens. 5 meters above the ground, you step out of the doorway leading into the trunk of the tree onto the wildly swinging catwalk of boards and rope. You keep a firm grip as you make your way toward the massive boxes, each as large as a flat boat and overflowing with plants that hang from the tree's thick branches. As the wind shifts, you catch the heady aroma of blooming flowers and ripe vegetables. So interesting. Interesting. So, now it's the ranger's turn. And I am going to start to play some cards because I just want to interact with some. So, first card I am going to play is this. I'm going to show it on camera. It's a Oru, the sheepdog. And let me see if I can get it right. So it's a presence of 2. And then on the side, whoops, as I drop it, it's got a 2 spirit here, which is going to cost me 2 spirit to play it. But what it allows me to do, each time I exhaust it, which is once per turn, I can move a being and I can add 2 progress to it. So any being I can move and add 2 progress to it. So I'm going to play this right here, which is basically my cards that are in my in play. This is actually a persistent, so it doesn't go away once I've placed it. So it'll stay kind of round to round. I'm going to spin the 2 spirits in order to play that. Move this off camera. All right. I do need to get rid of this Sitka buck. So I am going to exhaust it here. This also has a test on it, which is a fitness plus heart, so I can pet my canine to ready this being and soothe one fatigue. So that basically allows me to soothe cards that I have to fatigue over time, get one back. So I'm just going to exhaust it, and it's going to allow me to add 2 progress to that Sitka buck. So let me... Okay, and then let's see, what else do I want to do here? Got some other cards I could possibly play. Okay, I'm going to do a focus test. Basically allows me a focus test. I'm going to show the card. It's remember. It allows me to remember my training and allows me to scout ranger cards equal to your effort. Then draw 1 ranger card. So I just committed 1, so I basically get to draw 1 ranger card. And then I get Pocodo the Ferret, which I already have. Which is nice, but I can take another one. I think I'm going to do an avoid test. That's going to be one of the awareness tests. And in order to avoid this being, it allows me to exhaust 1 being. And I'm going to need to do a test of, it's going to be a 1 because of its presence. So let's just do an avoid test, and let's just hope I get lucky here. So I'm going to spin one of these to do an avoid test. And then we flip over this. It was an avoid test. Doesn't happen, nothing happens here, because it's awareness 0 on the card. Now, the way these work is these are going to add potentially a 0, a +1, +2, or a -1 or a -2 to your overall challenge and effort. So I put an effort of 1. This is a 0 awareness, so it doesn't add or subtract. So this would be considered active and works. It allows me to exhaust this, so this is no longer in play. The benefit of that is it allows me to interact with this station while that is subdued, and it means I'm not having to fatigue or discard cards in order to do that. Normally, if I wanted to interact with this, this would maybe potentially cause me damage or cause me, it would swipe at me as I was trying to interact with it and cause me to discard some cards in my deck, which my deck is literally basically, in a sense, my life. That's how much time I have, and I want to avoid discarding some of those as possible. So the bottom of this card, though, does have this little symbol here, and basically any card in play that has that symbol, which you can see the Sitka doe or buck does, it's basically for, if this was active, it would have interacted, but it says if there's an active Sitka doe, the buck charges, and I would suffer an injury, but there is not an active Sitka doe, so it doesn't really matter. Mainly, it would be like the buck's protecting its son or his child. Could be a girl as well, but the doe, I guess. Is it doe or girl? I don't know. It'd be protecting its child, but that doesn't happen because it's not. There's not one that's active. Now, I can interact with this, and if I do an awareness test again, plus any hearts that I want to discard, so I have like this calming presence, which is a heart on it. It allows me to do a search test. And it allows me to search cards here. And allows me to scout path cards equal to my effort, and then I draw one. So I think I'm going to... I don't know, do I want to get rid of this? Because that might be... I'll just discard that. And I'm going to scout a path card, just one. So now I've got a Sitka doe, which comes down here within reach. Let me shift it over so it's right next to. See, if this had been out earlier, that guy would have charged at me if he was active, and it would have done damage to me. But it didn't, so we're good. But before I do that, hold on. I've got to flip over a card for that test to see what it is. So it's a +1, and because it's a mountain, it gives me an additional it's not a progress test, so never mind. I was thinking that would be that's only if I'm doing a progress test on a feature. But it does allow me to do 2. So I'll browse this other card and see which one I want to put out. Whoops. So I don't know that I want to put out the Sitka buck. I might do the overgrown thicket, but that is an obstacle, so I'm not sure I want to put that out just yet, although it is going to come out next turn. It'll come out either way. All right, and then this 3R, it's 3 per ranger, so if I do a traverse test, I add progress to a location or feature equal to my effort, and if I fail, I suffer 1 injury. And so basically, I need to do a traverse test in order to travel away from that location. Although I really can't do that until I find Hive Pimpot. But I might want to do a traverse test on the Hanging Gardens to add progress to it. Let's see if I have any cards in my hand that I could play. I do have one. It's called Tracked. After a challenge effect on the attached being resolves, add 1 track. And then I can use 1 track when a ranger performs a test. So I can commit 1 effort. So this is something I would attach to a being. And when a challenge effect, so the challenge effects are when these activate on the card, which this last one I need to make sure I do because it was a mountain. I'm going to activate these. So if there's an active predator, exhaust it, add 1 damage to this being equal to that predator's presence. There is no predator. If there's an active human, exhaust them and add progress to them and damage this feature. There is no active human. So let's see what this would have done. If there's an active predator exhausted, same thing. So yeah. Oh, nice. Challenge effect. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to do a traverse test on that. I do a traverse test of 3. Although it's nice to have that there to do an awareness test. Well, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and try to do a traverse test on the location itself to get myself closer to leaving this area, just in case I do find ultimately the high pin pot. Put your range. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, when you interact with the card in play, other cards between you and the card with which you're interacting with causing you to suffer fatigue. So basically, it allows you to fatigue a card in your deck. But I do have ways to soothe fatigue. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get Pocodo the Ferret. I'm going to fatigue him because this card is in the way. So, let's see. One of that hanging gardens also fatigues me. When you interact, environment things you're interacting may cause you to suffer fatigue. This might be a feisty Latrina, forming which, before you perform a test, each ready card between you and the farthest card in which you're interacting with fatigues you. Which ready cards are between you and that card depends on the area in which it sits. Some ranger cards and game effects will act upon a card and manipulate it in some way without performing a test. If the effects are not considered interactions, the cards between you and the affected card do not fatigue you. So yeah, so that would be 2 fatigue if I wanted to do that. I don't think I'm going to. I'm going to, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and, I need to spin this. Maybe I'll just interact with the hanging gardens. That's, get rid of that because I don't really need to eat. So yeah, let me go ahead and interact with that. I'm going to do a traverse test on the hanging gardens. I'm going to spend 3 effort. Flip this over and see what, see what it is. Oh, at -1, so it's only 2 effort on it. So, 2 effort. Now that would activate if this was an active predator, but it's not active, so it doesn't activate. 2 progress on that too. Yoink. Okay. Now I'm gonna rest. So resting allows me to get all my stuff back, but in a second. I'm not gonna travel because I can't yet, and then we're gonna go ahead and refresh. So all the exhausted cards become back. Get all of this back. Get all of these guys back. Get all of these guys back. Now, because I refreshed, I'm going to discard a cloud from that. Now, I'm going to draw another card. This is along the way, because it's an up arrow, so I'm going to show this card here. Get out of the way of the camera. I need to make sure I'm not staying in the way. Overgrown thicket, it is an obstacle, so yeah, I got to get rid of that because otherwise I'm not going to travel through that. But I've got a lot of cards within reach I probably need to take care of first. So got the sheepdog. Can add progress to a being. That's a possibility. Yep, I'll exhaust it. Gonna move to this Sitka buck. Add 2 progress to it. So you just go ahead and flip this over. So now I've got 4 on it of the 5 I need. And then I'm going to do a connect test. I'm going to do a connect test here. So I'm going to spend 1 of my spirit. Let's see what happens here. Oh, nothing happens. No plus, no minus. And then I do connect and get rid of this. So this will go out into said discard pile. And then it is a mountain. Discard 1 progress from this feature, and it fatigues you. I don't have any progress on this feature, so we are resolving the challenge effects for the mountain. This one says if there is an active predator exhausted, there is not. And this one says if there's an active human, there is not. So none of those actually come into play either. I'm gonna go ahead and probably, I need to do another connect test, but let's see. Let's do another well, yeah, probably do another traverse test on this thing here. Let's spin just all 3 to make sure we get it knocked out. Yeah, it's a 0, so this goes away into the discard pile. Let's try to get rid of this guy. Can do at least a connect test. But I could also shoo away the skittish to move this being. So I could do a spirit test and try to shoo it away. And you can see that by this test that is available on it. So that's going to be spirit plus that symbol. And I would need to hit at least a 1. It's always going to be a 1 unless otherwise... it's always going to be a 1 on here unless otherwise denoted that it needs to be a 2 or something like that. The advantage of shooing it is it puts it along the way, and I can actually interact with that overgrown thicket without having to interact with that Sitkado. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this spirit, try a shooting test. Oh, and it's a -1. So that doesn't work. So I failed the test. And then it does have a sun on it. It says if Quasi-Versi is not in the path discard, she is drawn by baked goods. Search the valley for Quasi and put her into play. So let's find Quasi-Vas. She'll be in the valley set here. Got her here. And then she comes down here. She is a human. And it says if there's any Sitkado in play. Okay. So you can ask questions about her adventure. She's got a lot of things you can do here. Persistent, friendly. She is fatiguing, so she's going to ask a lot of questions, and she is going to fatigue me, so get out of the way of the camera again. So this is 80 in the book. Let's read what she has to do. Enters play. If a ranger has biscuit basket equipped, go to 80.1. If Oru Voss is in play, go to 80.2. Otherwise, go to 80.3. From up ahead, you hear a child quietly singing to herself. You move around a large cedar bowl to find a young girl, maybe 8 years old, tracing patterns in the ground with a rock. She's covered in dirt, head to toe. In place of her left hand is a miraculous piece of technology, a prosthesis gleaming in the sunlight. Its fingers suspended in air, held only by her body's memory of the hand. As soon as she notices you, she hops to her feet. Hi, what are you doing? Where are you going? What is that? Can I use it? Each time you answer a question, she has another one at the ready. It seems like you have a new traveling companion, at least until you can satisfy her curiosity. Clear Quasi with progress to satisfy her curiosity. Oh my god. Alright. Let's figure that out. Ask her about her adventures in the valley to add progress to this being equal to your effort, then exhaust this being and then go to 80.4. So interesting. Alright. Let's figure out what we want to do here. What do I want to do? What do I have left to do? I will actually spin that guy to draw another card. I'm going to do another focus test. Let's make sure I get it. Nope, I didn't even get that test. And I definitely failed that test. So no focus test. And then I've got an awareness test. I can exhaust one. It's an avoid test, so I can exhaust a beam. I don't really need to do that. Do I have anything else that an awareness test allows me to do? I think I'm done. Nothing I can really do on this as far as an awareness test is concerned. Throw that back, throw that back, put this back here. I'm not going to travel. Lost one of these again. We're still on a perfect day. Because it was refreshed. Alright. Draw another path card. Sunberry Bramble. So that goes here. And then this will unexhaust as well. I gotta get rid of the Sitka dough. So let's go ahead and exhaust this to add to progress to that Sitka dough. Throw the little guy over here. And then I'm gonna go quasi. Let's see. Should probably interact with that again. I'm gonna do another connect test of 2. +1. All right, cool. So that goes away. Discard 1 progress or 1 token from a flora, insect, or gear. Don't have any of those, so I think we're good. I've got an awareness test I can do here. So it's a pluck 2, the thorn ringed fruit to add 1 damage to this feature and soothe through fatigue. So I can actually try to get rid of it with an awareness test. I'm wondering if I should try that twice. Oh yeah, but see, so here's one of those I was going to show you guys. It does have an awareness test on here, but it's got a 2 in parentheses, so I have to have an effort of 2 or higher for this awareness test to succeed. That would mean using all of my awareness tokens to ultimately try to clear that. Alright, well, let's do it. I'm going to spend both of these. Do a focus test on this bramble. Or it's an awareness test, I mean. Yeah, that's +1. So, add damage to this feature and soothe through fatigue. So, if you fail, this feature fatigues you. So, I'm going to add 1 damage token to it. This allows me to do a focus test. So I can ask her about her adventures in the valley and add progress to the being equal to my focus. So I'm going to spend 1 focus on that. to do a focus test. It only requires one. There's no in parentheses. Nope. It's a 0 on it, so it's not plus or minus. So I'm going to basically add progress to that, equal to that one focus. Then exhaust the beam. So that'll be 80.4. So let's go back to the book. 80.4. You quickly find Quasi's questions to be as consistent and as regular as the sunrise, though far more frequent. Answering one buys you only a few moments before she thinks of another. However, among her constant and endearing patter, you notice she says something of particular interest. Draw a challenge card. Read one entry based on the challenge icon on the card. Oh, interesting. So we can draw a challenge card. So it is this little red symbol on the bottom, which is going to make this: the heart of the swamp is gross, stinky, and full of giant worms. I bet that if you get all the way to the very middle, there's stuff there, like treasure. Oh, interesting. Okay. Interesting. So I guess if I do that again later, I can add more progress to her on a subsequent turn and find out more information potentially. Now I've just got traverse tests, which I can do on this feature. I think I am going to do a traverse test on this feature. Or maybe I should do it here and try to get rid of it and just fatigue one. I think I'm going to fatigue this guy in between, because it's a card that's in between me. It's only one because this is not a ready card anymore. It is a non-ready card. And it's one in between me, not two. This is not ready. I'm going to try to do a traverse test here. So basically it's a traverse test that I'll add, which is spinning fitness plus that symbol to add progress to a location or feature equal to your effort. And if I fail, I suffer one injury. This is a feature. I'm going to add 3 traverse, and you'll see it's a 2R. So this means it's got to be 2 per ranger effort to clear it. Right now it is an obstacle. So I'm going to spend all 3 just to not even play around. I don't want to risk not getting it. And it is still a +1, so it doesn't matter. I would add the 3 progress to it, +1, which would be 4 progress. Gets rid of that. And then none of that symbol activates because that is not active. All right. Gonna go ahead and ready everything up. Gonna get rid of all this. Discard 1 cloud from this card. If there are no clouds remaining, flip this card. So I'm going to discard that. And next time, now that there are no clouds remaining, it is going to be flipped. Which means it may not be as nice throughout the day. Flip over a card here. Another Sitka Buck. Okay. I think I want to hit this Strawberry Bramble again with the awareness here. So I'm going to spend the 2 awareness. I'm going to do a pluck test. Wait, hold on, yeah. And I don't hit it because it's only a 1 awareness. If you fail, this feature fatigues you. Oof. So it fatigues me a card. And then I'm going to do this again. I'm going to add progress to the guy out here. So I need to do a connect of 3. Let me do a connect of 2 to get rid of it. I want to see if I can maybe get a +1 here. That's a 0, so that's all right. It is a sun though. It says discard either one feature token from a flora, insect, or gear. Nope, there is no flora, insect, or gear. This says if there's another Sitkabuk, exhausted and add 2 damage to both this and the other Sitkabuk. There is not, so that's that. I'm going to do another focus test to ask her a question. Let's flip this over and see what it is. Yeah, it is a 0. So I do the focus test. Let's flip this over and see what it is. It's a sun. Did you know that up at Headwater Station in the big pool, there's ruins all the way at the bottom, and I even heard there's treasure down there. Okay, that's interesting info as well. Cool. So another progress on here. Now I've got the old traverse test, which I can do on the strawberry bramble. To get it out of the way, I might as well. Let's just spend all 3. Let's do a traverse test on it. Try not to fatigue more. Let's see what goes on here. Nothing. So it would get 3 on here. This will go away. And then this will go away. Alright. Now, refresh everything. Get all my energy back. 3 fitness. My 2 awareness. My 1 focus. My 2 spirit. Now, this card flips over. Now it's not a nice day. It's midday sun. So, upon refresh, add 1 cloud to this card. If there's 3 more clouds, flip this card over. And then basically I suffer 1 fatigue for each sun at the bottom of it. There is a focus test, plus a, that which I can locate. It's a locate of 2, so if I have a 2 or more effort on the focus, I can locate shade and wait out the bearing sun to add 1 cloud to this card and soothe 1 fatigue. So there's a way of kind of soothing the fatigue as well, which is kind of cool. It's an interesting concept. All right, let's, I would say let's go ahead and exhaust this. Move to a being to add progress to it. That's what I'm going to do there. Get that going. And I've got Quasi-Rascal. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me go back. There's that. There's that. Before I do that, I need to draw a card. Oof. Caustic Mulcher. Beings attached to this biomeld do not ready. While Ranger's presence is on this biomeld, you cannot travel, and presence on this biomeld cannot be moved except with the following test. A fitness test, okay. And it's a presence of 3, so this definitely needs to be taken care of. Interesting. So yeah, I don't want to get attached to that thing. Okay, so let's go back and do this. Get rid of this. Well, we need to find high pin pot in a hurry. And see, I'll do another focus test on here. Ask for another question. Perfect, I succeed. Oh, and it's a mountain. So let's see. Mama said never go inside Terravor, but one time I went just to the edge and peeked inside and I saw something weird and glowy all the way at the back. I think it's treasure. Interesting. She's just telling me where all the treasure is. Put another token on here. I exhaust her now. So basically I clear and then I read 80. 80.5 because I cleared her. After a non-stop barrage of questions, you're a bit surprised when Quasi suddenly stops talking. You turn and she's standing on a rock, shielding her eyes as she looks at the sun. I would say I would stay and help you some more, but I can't be late for dinner. See you some other time. She hops off the rock and scampers down the path, vanishing from view in an instant. Each ranger sues to fatigue. Discard Quasimodo. I'm going to sue both of these fatigue cards, which is nice. Get those back. Goes back here. Now, let's see what where she goes up there. Okay, cool. Now I've got this caustic mulcher to deal with. It is a being, so I need to do a connect test with it. And it would be a connect of 9. So let me just go ahead and start connecting with this thing. Do I have any hearts I can discard? Not even a predator. Alright, let's just do 2 for the connect test. Nothing happens there. Put 2 on the connect. Cool. Here. Draw a card. And add a cloud to it. Well, it's another Sitka buck. Interesting. Discard that, or exhaust that, add 2 to the Sitka buck, and then I want to do another connect test to it. So it's a connect plus a heart. Ooh, can I discard this to get? I'm gonna discard a heart. Fine. Let's see what this does. Oh, it's a +1 anyway. Nice. This clears. Because I committed 2, plus I discarded this heart, so I just committed 3 effort. That's a +1, so it's 4 effort. This already had 2 on it. It needed a 5, so the 2 plus the 4 made it a 6, so that clears that card. Now back to the caustic mulcher. Need to figure out how to connect with that. Let's see what cards I have in my hand that I can play. Alright, I'm going to spend 3 fitness. And then I'm going to play this track card. So 3 tracks. So I'm going to token on it, so I got 3 of those. Basically, after a challenge effect on the attached being resolved, add 1 track. When a ranger performs a test, commit 1 effort. So that is using a track allows me to commit an effort. So just going to allow me to hopefully take care of that a bit quicker. I'm going to go ahead and spend this for a remember. Let me go ahead and flip over. And so I suffer fatigue because of the sun. And I don't even get the remember task because it was a -1 and I only committed 1 effort. That sucks. Now I've got do an awareness test. See, I don't have my hand at all. Nope. Alright, let's go ahead and unexhaust. Add another cloud here. And exhaust this guy to add 2, so that'll make it a 3. So now it's at 4. It's not a challenge effect, so it doesn't actually work. I am going to try to connect with that though to do a challenge effect. So I'm going to do a connect of 2. With this. Oh, wait a minute. Again, I get ahead of myself. Flip over another thing. Howling Wolfhound, that is a predator. So no dice on actually interacting with that yet. I do have a predator in play. Oh, it's going to require 6. We have more fatigue because Austin's being in my range. Yeah, I think I gotta do this. Add to this. Spend these 2 to do a connect test. That adds another 3 more. So 3 and 2 is gonna be 5. Okay. This. Oh boy. Yeah, but it gives me the. Oh shoot. Alright, so it says add 1 damage to each being attached to this. No being is attached to that. Each ranger with their on this biome suffer 1 injury. Cool. If you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaust this being and suffer 1 injury. I do not have 3 or more fatigue. So none of those actually apply. So let's go ahead and spin the focus. Before I do that, actually, I'll do an awareness because I want to avoid this guy. Let's do an awareness of 2. He has a thing of 2 on it. That's a -1, so naturally I don't do it. Alright, well that didn't work. Let me spin this to try to do a focus test. -1 on the focus. So don't get that either. And it's also a sun, so I suffer a fatigue. So one of these cards out of my hand goes. Let's just shift all this back up. sun. Gonna order the sheepdog. Gonna add it to this. So this guy goes away. Hey, doesn't matter. I'm flipping this over anyway. There's another sunberry bramble. Now, these back. Let's spend 3 to do a fitness test or traverse test on this. Let's flip it over. Dang it. I am not getting good rolls. So that goes. Let's do another test for focus. No, did not do that. Oh, and it's a sun, so I fatigue. So yeah. I need to soothe some fatigue though. I mean, I guess I do awareness test to try to soothe the fatigue. That doesn't work. So I don't have any cards to fatigue, so I guess I keep trying. I mean, I have no cards to fatigue, so. Trying to wonder. Trying to see what'll happen if I don't have any cards. What happens with the old fatigues? All right. Let's keep going. I don't see anything about that. It does say in this game, you're not sure what happens. You just do what's going to benefit you best. So I'm going to do it that way. So we'll go ahead and rest. Again. Three on here. So this flips over again. That midday sun is brutal. Also, just not getting good rolls. So I'm going to do another one of these awareness tests on this. Try to pluck again. It's another -1. Whatever. Racket. All right. let's do one of these tests, I guess. Hey, it's +1 on the focus, so I actually get to draw 2 cards and select one. I'm going to do the hawk here. So I've got this Riri, the Sparrow Hawk, and it allows me to scout path cards equal to my effort and then draw a path card. So that might help me find High Pimpock here in a bit. I really just want to do an awareness test. I kind of want to pluck. Oh well. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just get rid of this card. Yeah, let's flip this over. Yeah. So, committed the 2. For this. Oh, before I do that, it was here. Now I've got just a connect test or a fitness test. Overgrown thicket, it's a 2 per ranger. What is that fitness test? Let's see. I'm going to do a connect test. I'm going to do this. Add 2. And then a connect test on that. I'm going to do a connect 2. -1, so it is a connect of 1. But it allows me to put one of these on there. And then when I do that, I can spin that to add an additional damage of 2. So now I'm up to 6. So this allows me to move this down. Basically, when I succeed at a test, it allows me to move one of these tokens over to this guy. I can spin that token to add additional damage to that, or effort to that, which allows me to add an additional effort, making it an effort of 2 as opposed to 1. And I now have a fitness test I'm going to attempt on the overgrown thicket. Yes, it's a 1 and a 1. Finally some good luck. 2 per ranger, and that overgrown thicket goes away. Okay, I'm going to refresh everything. Now it's cloud, flip over, topside mast. If the weather is inclement, you cannot interact with this feature. It's not inclement weather. Oh, I can convince them to allow me to travel. That's kind of cool. As long as my presence is on there. More caustic mulcher business. I think I'm going to interact with that again. Do a spirit test. Or a connect test again. Hey, it's a cast of 3. And now this guy goes away. Tract. That goes away. So let's grab one of these. I'll do a test for that. I cannot hit cards. Okay. Well, let's put the Riri out. The Sparrowhawk out. I'm gonna spit that. just got traverse. Let's go ahead and yoink. I'm gonna go ahead and come back. I'm just having good luck finding. I need to do a search now. I'm gonna do an awareness. So I'm gonna search ahead if I don't find high pim pot. Hey, here we are. High pim pot chef. And high pim pot says, let's figure this out. 47 in the book. Enters play, go to 42nd point. You hear High's shrill, whistling long before you see him. It's said that every ranger in the valley has tried to teach High Pim Pot a new song to whistle, but none of them have succeeded. Eventually you spot the stout little gnome of a man intently chopping and mixing vinegary-smelling herbs and vegetables into a large bowl. Good, you're here, he says without looking at you. Try this stew. I need to know if I've hit the right balance between pleasant heat and tongue searing. What does it need? Kelpweed, morning root. You can help High Pim Pot gathering ingredients for the stew, or you can clear him with progress to ask him how to make the stew as good as possible. So interesting. But actually, because it's the High Pim Pot, so basically the mission told me to go to 70, I believe. What does the mission say? Biscuit delivery. Yeah, I'm gonna use 91 instead. So, because that's the biscuit delivery mission. High Pim Pot enters play. You come across a wooden. Yeah, 91.3. You come across a passive. Yeah, you come across a massive pile of diced and sliced vegetable roots and tubers. Occasionally, more slices fly through the air to land on the pile. Back already? A voice says from on the vegetable pile. I told you there's no silverfin curry to be had until the fish is marinated for at least 3 hours. A head pokes out from behind the pile. Oh, it's you. I thought you were Elder Thrush. She gets so impatient on Silverfin Curry Day. Calypso sent you for the biscuits, eh? They're just out of the oven. Let me know when you're ready to leave, and we'll get those biscuits to the good people of White Sky right away. Travel away from Lone Tree Station while High Pim Pot is in play to continue the mission. So, that's what we're going to try to do. So I've got a focus test here of 3. Oh, I don't have enough focus for that. To try to convince them to the urgency of permission to move to this feature. Interesting. Alright, well, that's a presence of 0, so I don't have any discarded cards to interact with this. So I'm going to interact with that. I'm going to do a 3 traverse test on that. Let's figure that out. Over. It's a -1. So again, I get thwarted. But I will spend that to try to draw another card. Oh, wait a minute though. But it's a beautiful day, so this test is a traverse test or a progress test. Add an additional 1. So actually I would add an additional 1 because of the mountain, and voila. Nice, we can get to travel away. So let's go back to the valley. Travel away from Lone Tree Station while High Pin Pod is at play to continue the mission. High Pin Pod crosses his arms, gives you fear. Look, you'd better grab those biscuits and hit the trail before they cool too much. They're still cold, mind you. They're still good cold, mind you, but they're just so much better when they're warm. You raise your hands and tell him you're just about to leave. Good, he says. Just let me know when you're ready. I'll be here, right here, waiting. So you basically, so I collect the biscuits and continue going. So I collect the biscuits. Perfect. Biscuit delivery. So I flip this over. I have the biscuit basket. It's got 3 biscuits on it. I have a few tests where I can sneak a biscuit or I can give a biscuit. I wonder what will happen if I try to steal a biscuit. That's interesting. So now because I'm traveling away, I'm going to choose to basically travel. Okay, I'm going to rest and then travel. So, yep, it does allow me to travel because I have enough. So I'm going to remove all path cards from the play area, choose a new location, and some other path deck for the new location. So let's take all of these. All right. So let's go back, figure out where we're headed. We're going to assemble the new path deck. So let's go ahead and remove Lone Tree Station out. Set locations. Move the progress tokens back here. Oh, this guy's also going to go back. This guy will go back. Perfect day stays. These will stay because they're persistent. All right, new location. So let's go back and show you. I'm not going to show you the full valley map. Well, maybe a little bit. I'm going to show you the valley map here. So we are at Lone Tree Station. It's going to have us travel along this path here to White Sky. That's where we want to go because we're trying to deliver those biscuits to the people of White Sky. That symbol is a lakeshore symbol. So that means we're going to be traveling along a lakeshore path. So we're going to take the path cards for Lakeshore and mix them in with the White Sky area. So let's put out the White Sky, but it's going to have us do the path deck first. So let's do Lakeshore path deck, and then we're going to find White Sky. So we're going to mix all of these together. Okay, we're going to make the path deck. So, let's see what else it's going to have us do on travel. So we cleared the play area, traveled to the new location, find a location card, place it in the surroundings. So we can also decide to camp if we want to. I don't know that we need to because we do have a lot of cards left in our deck. So I'm not going to camp. And then it says lead ranger, draw one path card upon arrival. And this has an awareness plus test, is a search test. Awareness plus a heart. It allows you to scout path cards equal to your effort and then draw one path card. So it allows me to see what's coming ahead. But let me show you guys. This is White Sky. Look how beautiful this card is. This area, let me see if I can tilt it so you can see it. Beautiful. Alright. White Sky, we're going to flip this over. And we've got a feature. It's fresh blue kelpweed. I mean, I just love the artwork on this. It's a flora. It's a water. It does have a wrap test, which is a focus plus triangle. The pungent leaves around a wound to add 1 damage to this feature and either heal 1 injury from a ranger or discard 2 damage from a being. So also if there's a rompin' latrino in reach, it escapes through the weeds, move along the way. So it actually go up. So this is going to be within reach because it's got that down arrow. And then, yeah, I'm actually going to yoink the cards here. So this is a White Sky feature. It's a bubble. It's got a 0 presence, same as that kelpweed, so I can interact with White Sky without actually having to discard any cards. Swim 3. So I can go a swim test. It's a fitness test. Down underwater dome to return all your equipped gear to your hand and remove 1 feature. And move your presence to this feature if you fail suffer 1 injury. While your presence is on this card, prevent all fatigue you would suffer from the weather. That's kind of cool. So I should probably try to get my guy there before too long. I do want to do an awareness test here. I'm going to do an awareness test of 2. And I'm going to search pretty much for all the cards I need. Awareness, that's a -1. So at least I draw 1. Hey, I got another guy. Aritel Angler. It's a being. Let's go ahead. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna call it here. Since we're at a new location, I'll put the being out. He is a fisher. That'll be somebody I could probably give biscuits to. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it. And then on the next playthrough, we'll see what else we can get into and what else we can explore. Yeah, thanks for joining.